Welcome to Joe's Astrology. This is the astrology birth chart for Jhené Aiko. She's an R&B pop singer. And we see here that we do have the birth time. Let's just go around the houses for this one. First, rising here is Sagittarius. It's ruled by Jupiter. So this is going to be somebody who's involved in religion, who's had some experience with religion, whether it be in her early life and her family. And she also will be at least somewhat of a truth seeker and interested in spirituality and things of that nature. And we see the ruler is Jupiter, and it's in here with Venus and Taurus in the fifth. And if you were a person who was interested in money and good fortune, this is the rising and ruler to have Jupiter conjunct Venus in Taurus in the fifth. So we see that really good fortune in being a performer. And I don't know how many kids she has. I think she had a kid early on, but you see that with Venus in the fifth, like that love of children, or a person definitely would have. If you were going to look at a chart like this and the person would ask, well, am I going to have children? You could probably predict maybe 100% that they're going to have children with a chart like this. Could be also a very childlike personality. We also have that Venus is in the Virgo decan, so also could be a person who is a little bit introspective and likes to do work on themselves. May have a good work ethic with that Venus and Taurus, that Jupiter Venus and Taurus with the Virgo decan. She does have her midheaven here as well in Virgo. And we see the part of fortune here in the first house in Sagittarius. So selling, she's definitely a salesperson selling her music. And making money off of herself, off of becoming who she is becoming. She has Uranus in the first, so very strong Uranian person here, and strong individualist, someone kind of really supporting that, making money on her personality, on her self-work. Saturn's in Capricorn, where it rules. A person who, whether she's a responsible person or a disciplined person, if she's not, she's going to be forced. You could see she's forced to take that to learn about those things in this life with that Saturn and Capricorn. And we see, having a child early on can be something that can do that to a person. Having a lot of traumatic experiences. I think I saw that she had her house burned down when she was young, went through parents' divorce. Things like that can really, and that's kind of what you may see in this chart, like with some of the things I talked about, having that childlike persona, which we're going to get into more here. Some of these experiences can force you. So whether she's that innately or not, she's definitely being forced to become that person. See Mars and Neptune conjunct, so she's a lot of her motivation, and it's in Capricorn where Mars likes to be. So there's Mars and Saturn, and Mars, Saturn, Neptune in Capricorn, and that Mars, Neptune, especially that drive to be dreamy and make her dreams come true. Just kind of like searching for that space, more like also like the drive to learn about spirituality, and it's in her house. You could say that's the first house as well. In this chart, it's the second house, the house of values. So she really values music and embodies a Neptune person, which she is a Pisces sun, and it looks like a Pisces sun, Pisces moon on the North Node. But that's more also could be more of that hardship to really kind of propel you to be a spiritual person. We see it's just Mercury in Pisces. So we talk about this little stellium here in Pisces. Big lots of brothers and sisters. Had some issues with a brother. I think a death of a brother. But big on siblings here with this third house for sure. Uh, Part of her emotional makeup, her emotional to be ability to be emotionally satisfied is tied up in her family and especially her brothers and sisters. We see here with that Pisces and kind of like the sun, everything's down there near the fourth house. Um, it's where she's headed to be this. You see in her music, she's got a very dreamy musical very Neptune Pisces like in her music, and that's why I like her music. Um, Also has that Virgo. We see the South Node in Virgo. So we have this Pisces Virgo polarity really playing out in her music and uh, speaking about kind of like some of her lyrics being like as if she's in a therapy session. And this South Node is uh, interesting because the Mercury in the third rules the South Node, so we maybe see a little bit of trouble with the siblings and really forcing her again more of that indication that it's really forcing her to take responsibility and be uh, really move into that Saturn space of Capricorn, that Saturn and Capricorn, as opposed to all that Pisces she has and that Neptune down here. Like so you can see, like there's this interaction between living this dream life, but at the same time also being forced to live in the more harsher realities of life. And we see this Uranus squaring the nodes. So very important, and it's at 0 degrees, so it's like kind of new here in Capricorn. Like maybe in the past, she's really moved into that space. Like she's I've seen her talk about tarot, and I bet she definitely love astrology and would love this reading and would love to talk about reincarnation for sure. At this point, I'm almost sure of it. And it's kind of like showing this Uranus that it's new to her in this life. Like she really was coming from this Pisces space. You can see with all that Pisces and all that movement towards the North Node, the Sagittarius rising, the Jupiter Venus, and it's like this is kind of uh, a very Scorpio life, and like she's kind of transitioning to trying to find that balance between uh, the Saturn polarity of this 10th house and the fourth house moon, very moon. We see the moon down there. It's got a lot of Capricorn Cancer vibe to it in this chart. Like, um, so back to what I was saying with this Uranus. The point I was trying to make is that it's also moving away from this South Node. So you're definitely asserting that individuality and being an individual, being a pop singer, but at the same time, the trauma really forcing her to uh, go into the discipline space, the Saturnian space of the career, and more, and like as I said, dealing with the harsher realities of life to kind of balance out that Pisces Virgo, which is good. What you see, because what you see in some of the other charts that I do, and just people in general, they go way too far into that Pisces space, and this is what can happen. Again, if you're into reincarnation, this is what I believe can happen, that you go too far into that Pisces space, and that at some point life has to bring you back to that balance where you're going too far into thinking that this is like a dream life, and it's also Earth and it's ruled by Saturn, and there are harsh realities about this place that are never going to go away. So I mentioned we had the Jupiter Venus in the fifth. She's definitely a creative performer. And we can see also with the opposition here to Pluto and that North Node emphasis that she really has embraced, at least this life is a life of really embracing evolution, at some level, embracing the self work. But not to put her up on a pedestal too much. You can see, as a lot of the things I said, a lot of the trauma has really forced her to do that. And yeah, if she happens to watch this video, I would love to do an astrology reading for her. That would be amazing. And if you like the video, please subscribe to the channel. If you like astrology, I have a lot of astrology videos. I'm gonna have a lot more coming up. I do think this is one of the best ways to learn astrology, by reading charts, and I'm here to help you navigate that space. And I hope you have a great day.